Hey everyone, DFA here, welcome back to the channel. I figured I would make a video about CVs this week, but not from the CV player perspective, more like the destroyer player perspective. Or at least the perspective of a player that is being focused by a CV, because I keep hearing that all the time. CVs are overpowered, there's nothing you can do against them, you are completely helpless, those dive bombers are just clicking on you and sending you back to base in 20 seconds, etc, etc. Well, here's how because I generally don't get killed by CVs, and there are a couple of things I do to prevent that. And the first one, so here we're using the Jaeger. The Jaeger has around something like 16 AA. Yeah. So you're not going to shoot down anything with it. And typically what I do is, yeah, that's a good example. So we do get hit by one torpedo, one dive bomber there. It's a Manfred in front and he hit us, so the 3 dive bombers hit us for 4,000. So yeah. Unfortunately what you see me there is not what you should be doing. My positioning was not correct. I will be completely honest, I was not expecting the enemy CV to focus me right up front. But when you know this is going to happen and you see the planes coming towards you, the first thing you do is you get within the vicinity of your fleet mates, because you want to essentially discourage the enemy CV from targeting you, but we try to stay away from islands as well, because honestly, you really do not have the room to maneuver or to evade an attack of a CV there. Just like my positioning there was actually close enough to my teammates, but unfortunately too close to that island, and I did not really have the option to dodge the torpedo bombers. That being said, it's a Manfred in front and it looks like the planes are coming back to us, so I didn't want to be over aggressive. I stayed next to my team. Unfortunately in that game I'm pretty unlucky, because all I have to protect me is the Brindisi and the Colombo, and yeah, those are not going to scare too many people. But that's enough to, yeah, make sure that we do not get a single hit from that wave of dive bombers. So yeah, typically the Manfred, it's probably one of the worst CVs to be dealing with DDs, because honestly those dive bombers, yeah, they're not going to hit you very often, and when they hit, they frequently overpen. Yeah, it's been 2 waves of dive bombers there, so 6 squadrons of, how do they, like 4 or 5, something like that. And I've taken a total of 4,000 damage. And those torpedo bombers, yes, it's a pretty wide one. But yeah, 7 torpedoes, they're better placed on enemy CVs and battleships than they are on a poor destroyer like the Jaeger. So yeah, what you have to do is, you see that again, he's keeping his planes to spot me, and you have to accept when this happens that you're not going to have the best game of your life. But what I did on purpose was actually move closer to that Hanover, because I know that Hanover has much better AA than the Colombo and the Brindisi. And I'm making sure that, yeah, whatever they decide to throw at me, yeah, it has to fly over that Hanover first. And as you can see, not a single plane, yeah. Actually 2 squadrons are completely deleted, and we even managed to destroy a plane, so yeah. If you have played CVs in your life and you know the Manfred, it's probably the easiest CV to deplane in the game. And yeah, essentially it can afford to lose its entire wave of dive bombers 2 times. After that it's over, he doesn't have any. So at that rate, I think now we understood that going after us was not the best option, and we can be a little bit more aggressive, but I'm still going to stay not too far from my team, because I never know when this guy is going to come back. And just to be clear, yeah, it does happen to me quite a lot getting focused like that. Yeah, you've seen my in-game name, Zelensky. And yeah, about 1 year ago the EU server was merged with the Russian server, and I did make a lot of friends right away, almost instantly. So yeah, for the American people viewing this, Zelensky is the good guy, Putin is the bad guy. And yeah, it does happen quite often that for some really strange reason the people from the Russian fleets, they tend to get quite angry at my name, and yeah, so I do get focused quite a lot. So yeah, in that case, I'm fearing that this might happen again. The Manfred is sending 3 waves of dive bombers, so I'm going to go in the vicinity of that Hanover again. so to make sure that at least the planes that are flying on me are actually flying towards him as well, but he's leaving me alone. This time I think he got the message. Yeah, sending your dive bombers against destroyers, it's usually a waste of them, especially if that destroyer is protected by enemy AA. So now he's focusing the targets that he's supposed to be focusing, which is the enemy CV, or I would say the larger capital ships. And isn't it ironic that the ships that are precisely closing in on that Manfred right now are the ships he should have been focusing from the beginning of the battle? Yeah, I think there's a lesson there somewhere for CV players. And so yeah, if you get focused by CVs, the first thing you need to do is to identify that situation. When you see those dive bombers traveling in a straight line straight towards you, typically, yeah, you're going to be next, and so you have to make sure that you stay within the proximity of your team, and even better than there is an AA ship next to you, so there you go, we do place a nice salvo on that Manfred. So the second thing you need to do is to accept that you might have a crappy game, and in that game he's actually not giving up. He's sending another dive bomber squadron on us, but that's pretty much the only one he can send at this stage because it's pretty much deplaned, and yeah, that dive bomber squadron did not infect any, did any damage to us. So yeah, it's time for revenge. So yeah, accept that you're going to have a crappy game, and yeah, you're in there for the long run, because it takes a couple of minutes to deplane an enemy CV. And yeah, you put as much distance as you can between you and him. You make sure that he's absolutely wasting its DPM on you, that he's being completely useless to its team by focusing you. And yeah, sometimes you have to take one from the team. You're not going to have a world record in that battle, but it's okay. You're going to help your team win, because no matter what people say, CVs are indeed very, very strong in that game. And if you can make sure that one of the strongest ships in the enemy team is focusing you and not the rest of your team, there you go, that's another wave of dive bombers for absolutely nothing. Yeah, so be it. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, dispelling a few myths. Yes, this is a team game and you have to play it as a team game. And yeah, hope that was useful to you. So stay safe, take care. That was DFA signing out. Bye bye.